Hey guys, what's up? It's Melkazonki and welcome to another game by the Washington Wizards. Today, we're going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have a slightly better record than us, and they are #1 in the Eastern Conference right now. I believe they have the second best record in the NBA after the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we are currently the second best record in the Eastern Conference after the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have passed up the Bulls in a few games simulated since the last episode, so we are playing in Oklahoma City against the OKC Thunder, who have one of the best home crowds in the NBA, probably the second best home crowd in the NBA after the Golden State Warriors, although I doubt this comes into effect in this game. And the Oklahoma City Thunder managed in the offseason to either sign or trade for Kyle Korver, and he is now running at the shooting guard spot, which is a huge upgrade at the shooting guard spot for them. And he's going to make a huge difference because he's a three-point shooter, and Kyle Korver is also a much improved defender as well. And in his younger days, he was pretty much primarily just a three-point shooter and not much else, but now he's really developed into a much better all-around player. So this is definitely going to be a challenge playing OKC in OKC, always a tough challenge. And for me, at least in 2K, the OKC Thunder have always been, as Bradley Beal hits a difficult shot there, but he was open, and it does go down for him. So early on in the game, we are tied up at 5, and one thing that I'm kind of worried about is Russell Westbrook. I'm not so scared of Kevin Durant because Trevor Ariza, I did start him in this game over Tyreek Evans because I don't want Tyreek Evans guarding Kevin Durant. I want to minimize that as much as possible. Trevor Ariza is a good defender, and he is nearly as tall as Kevin Durant, so they match up well. And I foul Russell Westbrook fouls John Wall, and he gets the nice and one to go there. So probably the two most athletic point guards in the entire NBA going up against each other in John Wall and Russell Westbrook. Derrick Rose maybe is in that conversation, but he's definitely lost a little bit with all the injuries. As Russell Westbrook with the breakaway slam after the steal. So that was a very nice play by him. And every single time John Wall and Russell Westbrook go up each other, it's just going to be a dunk fest. Neither of them can guard one another. They're just too quick, so they're both going to get into the lane a lot. They're both going to be slamming it down. Every single pick and roll is just disastrous, as Ibaka with a nice cut to the rim, and he gets the two-handed slam. Weak defense by Donatas Motiejunas. One thing that I neglected to mention that I probably should have mentioned earlier is that our power forward is hurt, and Donatas Motiejunas is getting the start now. And he's been okay as Kevin Durant hits a difficult three. With his filling in job, he's managing to hold down the floor. Donatas Motiejunas is really developed into much better players. Russell Westbrook is just left wide open for three. He's not that great of a shooter, but at the same time, you can't leave him open. He is an NBA level point guard, so he's going to be able to hit that. And I'm going to take advantage of John Wall just immediately taking the ball and cutting to the rim. Russell Westbrook is not able to react fast enough. John Wall gets the dunk. That was a really nice play. But the OKC Thunder are off to a really good start here, and they are at home as Reggie Jackson hits a crazy and-one layup while he's falling down and being fouled by Marcus Johnston, and he would manage to convert the and-one. So the Thunder have an 11-point lead, but John Wall is trying to keep our team in the game early on. We've gotten up to a sluggish start, some really bad shooting, and John Wall is trying his best to keep us in the game. But the Thunder are running the break, and there's just too much passing around for us to cover every single man, and they manage to get the finish. And here, at the end of the first quarter, the Thunder have a 9-point lead. They're looking to go into the second quarter with an even bigger lead, so of course they're giving it to Kevin Durant. He's going to hit the fader with Tyreek Evans in his face, and that's what I was talking about earlier. I don't want Tyreek Evans guarding Kevin Durant very much. But on the other end, on the inbounds play, I'm just going to cheese. I'm running with Bradley Beal, and Jeremy Lamb just cannot keep up with him, and Bradley Beal managed to get the slam. And that was really, really nice play by him, and just manages to blow past the entire Thunder front line. And then John Wall manages to hit a long two off of the screen. He was wide open, much improved mid-range shooter. He really is deadly if you leave him open now. And here in the second quarter, what I'm looking to do is minimize some of the Thunder's perimeter shots, and in doing that, Kevin Durant got an easy cut to the rim. But I'd much rather him be cutting to the rim than shooting some of those open threes, because that was definitely a foul. Ibaka got hit in the head, but the refs did not call it, much to our advantage, and we managed to pass it up the court, and Marcin Gortat misses, but Trevor Ariza is cleaning up his mess, and we get 2 points off of the blown calls by the refs there. And even in 2K, that does happen from time to time. And then John Wall is going to be dunking over Steven Adams. That was a really impressive play, dunking with his left hand. And then we get the steal on the ensuing Thunder possession, and John Wall is managing to run it in transition, and he's just going to go up for the lay-in. Russell Westbrook has his hands up, but it does not matter. I believe there's a couple free throws in between possessions there as well. John Wall was a monster just getting to the line constantly this game and managing really to get us back in the game at the line. But the Thunder, their lead dwindling, now have to look upon Russell Westbrook to step things up for them, because Kevin Durant has been not doing so hot in the second quarter, and then Donatas Motiejunas just gets the step on Serge Ibaka and manages to slam it. Very weak defense there by Serge. In transition, Trevor Ariza, the transition beast, he's just going to pull up at the elbow. He hits one, and we've climbed our way all the way back into this game. We were down by 13 in the first quarter, but we're all the way back, and CJ Watson is wide open for three. You can't leave him open, and we take a lead, 52-50. That was a really quick comeback on our part, and that's hard to do on the road. And Bradley Beal just too good. He pulls up in Jeremy Lamb's face, and he manages to hit that one as well. So we have a 4-point lead here. The Thunder are on their heels, but Reggie Jackson manages to kick it out to Lamb, and he's going to hit the open three. You can't leave him open. I was really taking advantage of the defense on him. I was just giving it to Beal or Ariza constantly and attacking Lamb because he could not defend them. But Reggie Jackson's going to hit the three, and the Thunder regain the lead, and that's going to be your halftime score, 56-50. But there's a lot of anyone just attacking some of the weaker Thunder defenders. You don't want to attack guys like Serge Ibaka, although I did manage to get him a couple times with Motiejunas. But as you can see from the half stats there, our three-point shooting was terrible, shooting 22% in that first half, and I did jack a lot of threes in the first quarter, and I think that's why the Thunder got off to such a nice start, as we were taking a lot of bad shots. Kyle Korver is attacking the rim, and he's another guy that I want to attack on offense. Although he is a much improved defender, I still think Bradley Beal has a huge athleticism advantage over Kyle Korver. He manages to hit the transition bucket there just because he was able to outrun Korver on that play, although that wasn't entirely Korver's fault. Beal probably got the jump on him. And then I'm trying to guard Westbrook here, and it's just not working. With Tyreke Evans user defending Westbrook is never a good idea. He's going to hit the jump shot. Kevin Durant attempts a crazy shot here, just fading away. Wasn't a good idea, and I get the steal on Steven Adams. I'm pushing the ball, and Tyreke Evans, he's in the game, and what he does best, what he lacks with defense, he makes up with his hustle on the offensive end and running on those fast break plays, and he's really been a nice addition off of the bench when I'm starting Trevor Ariza, and Tyreke Evans is just too strong, muscles his way to the rim. I can get away with starting Tyreke Evans against teams that kind of have weaker scoring small forwards, but there are a lot of really good small forwards in the NBA. It's not just LeBron and Durant. There's guys like Paul George or Wilson Chandler as well. Some of those mid-tier small forwards that can really take advantage of weak defenders, so I can't start Tyreke Evans in those games. Tyreke Evans just gets burned by Kevin Durant there. He hits the mid-range jumper. But when I do get away with starting him, it's nice having that insane cutting to the rim ability. CJ Watson just pulls up for a jumper, and we're really struggling in this third quarter. We are down by, I believe, 15 points at one point, or 14 points. We're down by a lot, but we're going to make a run at the end of this third quarter. And then OKC hits a three. They're up by 12, continuing to extend their lead. But we're getting back in this game with a lot of free throws, even though we're down by 14 points. At this juncture of the game, that is going to change in the hurry. Nice cut to the rim by CJ Watson there. He lays it in. And one thing the Thunder really did not do a very good job of, again, I don't show free throws very often. It's a rare occasion when I do, but the Thunder were missing a ton of free throws, particularly Reggie Jackson. I was able to take advantage of that. Beal finishes with the and one, and he was able to hit that free throw as well, and our free throw shooting has been amazing. Trevor Ariza misses the three, but Marcus Johnston is wide open under the hoop for the offensive rebound. I saw that, and I had no qualms about pulling up for three because I knew if I missed, it's still probably going to be 2 points there. And then they leave yet again. John Wall open for three, and all of a sudden that 14-point lead is cut down to 4. Now this is one part about 2K that really irritates me. I got a completely green perfect release, and he still misses the free throw. That makes no sense, but Kyle Korver getting the and one lay-in also doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but hey, he did, and he was able to convert the free throw after that. But later on in the fourth quarter, and the Thunder are starting to struggle a little bit. Their offense was getting stagnant. They were taking a lot of jump shots, and their free throws were not falling. And I was taking advantage with John Wall, and he's going to be dunking with the double clutch. And Russell Westbrook was just not able to contain the ball there, and I can't really blame him. John Wall is a freak athlete, but John Wall can't contain Westbrook either because Westbrook is cutting the rim. and he finishes with the and one. Just a very smart play by Westbrook there. We're just continuing to go back and forth with the two-point guards. John Wall is dunking on Westbrook, and that is kind of cheesy, just cutting back and forth a little bit until you get your defender off balance. But Trevor Ariza, not to be outdone, he slams it as well, maybe not with quite as much ferocity as John Wall, but he can still get up. He's passing the age 30 mark, so he is starting to decline a little bit, but Trevor Ariza still has quite a bit of athleticism left. And finally, Kyle Korver blows a lay, and I was waiting for that to happen. And then running the fast break, John Wall again with the acrobatic dunk, slamming it, just cocking the ball way back. And the Thunder are pretty shaken up by that, apparently, because they're starting to lose their lead. As Serge Ibaka does cut to the rim, and he does finish with the nice two-handed slam. So the Thunder are keeping it close, but we have maintained the lead in the fourth quarter here around midway point. And then Donatas Motiejūnas is just backing the man down, and he just flips it up and in. That was a crazy shot by him. I was really surprised that wasn't 5 seconds back to the basket and a turnover, but I must have gotten the shot off like just before that happened. Kyle Korver is just going to pull up in our face, and he's going to hit one. If he used a couple footsteps behind the line, that would have been a three-pointer and probably a little bit more beneficial to the team, but sometimes that happens. So Donatas Motiejūnas with the crazy shot, he misses, but Marcin Gortat is able to clean up his mess. And altogether, the fourth quarter is starting to look really good in our favor. The Thunder have just very, very much struggled, but Kevin Durant is back in the game now. He's had a really quiet night for the most part, but he's starting to hit shots. And when Kevin Durant starts to heat up, that's an issue, because he's the one guy that can get his team back in a hurry with three-point shooting. But Russell Westbrook is just left wide open. Really terrible defense in all part. I'm calling timeout after that, but the Thunder are only down by 3 after we had a 7-point lead not too long ago. Trevor Ariza takes the deep three, and he's just going to hit it with the shot clock winding down. We're up by 6 with 2 minutes left to play on the road in Oklahoma City. I was not expecting to even be this close, really, to have the lead at the end of the game, but it's worked out. And then the Thunder get the steal, they get the slam, and it's a 3-point game. A few seconds later, it's still continuing to be a 3-point game. Kyle Korver is just holding onto the ball for a long time for some reason, but Kevin Durant is cutting to the perimeter, and he's hitting it. 111, 111. We are tied up. It's clutch time. This is when the men are separated from the boys. Trevor Ariza is definitely the former, and he hits a 3. That does count, even though it didn't even show the scoreboard go off. It just immediately cut into the timeout. But we're up by 3. We're still up by 3 after some free throws. Russell Westbrook is pulling up, but he's going to miss, and we're just going to pass it ahead to John Wall. No free throws at the end of this game. John Wall reverses it, and we get a tough road win. And yet again, the CPU chokes on a late game three-pointer. I think that's the 3rd time we've seen that in this series, where the CPU had a chance to tie the game up with the last shot and just missed it. It continually happens, and I'm not going to argue, because we get a tough road win over an additional one of the top 5 teams. We're a top 5 team without a doubt, and so are the Thunder. This could be a potential playoff matchup in the NBA Finals. You never know. Kevin Durant had a very quiet 30 points, pretty inefficient, not a great shooting night for him. Russell Westbrook had a very Russell Westbrook-ish night as well. And then the Thunder's 2 stars didn't get a whole lot of help. Korver and Ibaka both had really bad shooting nights, as well as Reggie Jackson, who just missed a ton of free throws, although he was pretty effective from the floor. And unfortunately, the 2 stars are pretty powerful, but at the same time, they can't do it by themselves. They need a little bit more help out of their supporting cast, and their supporting cast was not able to provide that. But John Wall was the best player on the floor tonight, 49 points and 7 assists. Of course, he's going to get the player of the game, and Ariza had 19, Beal had 15. The rest of the team not so hot, which isn't necessarily a good time. When John Wall is on fire and just taking over the game like he was tonight, that's great, but at the same time, I do need some of the other guys to step up. And here's the overall stats. We got 44 free throws on our team, and half of those were from John Wall. Again, he was just attacking the rim constantly. He's so good at that. And the Thunder's poor free throw shooting might have cost them this game. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you guys next time with the next video. Farewell.